Hello, hello, and welcome to this session of Ask Me Anything about creating online courses, coaching programs, or memberships. You can comment wherever you are watching from right now. If you're watching us live, hello, we are live on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and live on YouTube. Now, wherever you're watching this from, you can come. Ooh, I could get feedback here. Sorry, I'm getting feedback. I just had some of my YouTube channel open and I can hear myself talking. So if you are watching on any of the channels, if you comment, those comments do come through to me live. So please do straight away jump in now. Tell me where you're based. Let me know where you are, what kind of work that you do, what industry you are in, and what questions you have about creating courses, creating coaching programs, or creating memberships. I've got a number of alerts coming up on my screen right now just saying that we can't stream to Facebook. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to take 1 second just to re-add our streams here. No, we can't. We're going to go just live on YouTube and LinkedIn. Okay, so with that in mind, we are answering all of your questions about course creation. Hi, Belinda. She says she's in Charlotte. Hello. And you are a Christian course creator. Lovely to meet you, Belinda. If you've got any questions, please drop them into the comments and I will answer all of your questions on the chat today. So my name is Sarah Cordiner. I am a postgraduate qualified teacher, trainer, educator, and course creation specialist. I've spent the last 15 years of my life working in the education, curriculum design, and education sector. I teach teachers, I teach trainers and educators through their qualifications in how to teach. I have been teaching in universities, colleges, corporate government organizations, training organizations. I've been the manager of a National Industry Skills Council. I've been the executive director and head of campus of a university. And I have helped over 280,000 students of my own to grow their education-based businesses in my courses. So I have been doing this a long time. You are in excellent hands. And over the last 15 years, despite the fact the industry constantly changes, I have been able to learn from experience what works and what doesn't in the course creation space. So I'm going to start going through all of the questions. Belinda, thank you so much for your prayers to help me recover. I'm still going through a number of tests at the moment to work out what's been causing my long-term illness. But thank you very much for your beautiful thoughts and prayers. I am so grateful and delighted to have wonderful people like you in my life helping me and sending me good vibes. So the first question we have on the chat has come through via email from Leanne. And she says, how do I know what content to create in my course? Wow, this is a very big question. When it comes to deciding what content do we put in our course, first of all, we have to decide what kind of course that we are creating and what purpose that course has in our overall business model. What a lot of people do is go straight out to create a course and they haven't yet decided, is this course going to be my big mama main income stream in my business? Or is this course going to be more of a taster, a lead generator to bring people into my business to maybe lead them into your main products and services, which might be done for you services, for instance? You're going to have very different depths of content being delivered in very different ways if you are doing a short mini course compared to if you're doing, say, a 6-week-long coaching program, which would be different again to if you were doing perhaps an ongoing monthly membership. Would be very different kinds of content again if you were doing more of an immersion type retreat or boot camp. So before we can say what kind of content do we include, how much content do we include, how are we going to price our courses, we first have to come back to basics and say, what are we doing? What's the point of this course? What is the point of what we're trying to do here? So in terms of the different kinds of courses you can create, really quickly, I'll go through them. The first kind of course is a lead magnet education product. This is something that you're giving away for free to get people's email addresses, to start creating that relationship, that nurture process. So your free educational thing, your free educational resource can really be anything. It should be something very, very fast. It should help people really quickly and give people a taste of your style and your area of expertise. So this could be, for instance, a free webinar. It could be a free Ask Me Anything like I'm doing right now. It could be a free ebook. It could be a free checklist. It could be a free short mini guide. It could be a like a 1-hour workshop recording that you have put together that answers a top question that you constantly get asked in your industry. But that free thing, its whole purpose is to get email addresses so that you can start the relationship building and give people a taste of you. The next kind of course you can create is a mini course. And at the moment, micro-learning has dramatically increased in popularity. So by micro-learning, we're talking about these kinds of short, sharp, under 90-minute style trainings that focus on giving people a very specific result or answering one particular question. And this can be delivered in a workshop style, in a webinar style. A few years ago, these kinds of mini courses were expected to be produced in module and lesson format, but actually a lot of people today, I think this has been something that's happened as a result of COVID, they want their question answered as fast as possible, and they are very happy for that to be in a 45-minute delivery like this instead of a long drawn out course. So getting people's questions answered fast is really good. Now, those kinds of short courses, those kinds of short workshops or webinars that focus on answering one particular question are your lower priced products. And in those kinds of lower priced products, you're more going to be delivering information instead of getting deep on the how to do something, right? Purely because of the time that you have available. So in these, if you're answering a particular question, get to the point and answer that question, but you may have less time to go into the in-depths of the how they might go and implement. So we're talking here about how do we, in fact, I might put these questions up on the screen as we go. So I'm just answering what kind of content to include in my course. This is the question we're answering right now for those of you that have just joined us. So your short lead magnet is going to be information only in terms of depth, and it's going to be free. A mini course, or what's called a micro learning piece of content, it's going to be your lowest price product, and it's going to range anywhere from, say, $9 up to about the $97 mark. Anything under $100 is much easier for you to sell. There's a much lower objection to people going in and purchasing that particular product. And in terms of the level and depth of content, still going to be information, but of course, giving people the answer that they actually came there for. So they're the two first types of courses, which will determine what kind of content and what kind of depth. The third type of course you might create is what I call the Authority Flagship Online Course. Now, your Authority Flagship Online Course is basically your big mama course that is self-study, that covers every single element of what you teach in your particular topic, but is still completely self-study. So this is where I would go in, whatever it is that you are an expert in, this is your all-encompassing self-study course on that topic. It's everything you know about your topic. Now, note that I said everything that you know about your topic, not everything that there is to know in the whole universe about your topic. When we're creating courses, the best way for us to sell and to avoid the imposter syndrome that will inevitably hit you at some point is to not go, this is the best course in this thing and it covers everything you need to know. It's to say, here is what I am an expert in. Here is what I have done. Here are the things that I have learned. Here are the strategies that I have used and tested and implemented over time. And therefore, this course includes all of my strategies that I recommend using in this topic. You see the difference there? You're only focusing on teaching what you know, what you teach, what you're familiar with, what you have tried and tested. And you're in your course promise saying, I will teach you these things that I have tried and tested and I believe in. Takes away the imposter syndrome, takes away the need to include everything in your topic. It takes away the need to say that yours is the best and other people's isn't. It just focuses on your chosen ways. But this here is your Authority Flagship course. Now, this kind of course, because it's still self-study, it still gives you the option to keep the price of that course lower if you are deciding to go for the low price but high volume mass market. If you're deciding you want lots and lots and lots of people, you want to change lots and lots of lives, you will need to have a lower price product to reach more people, because the majority of people do have that less disposable income compared to the number of people that have high disposable incomes. It's just the way the world works, not me being judgmental in any way. This is just the market. The market is like a triangle. The majority of people at the base of that triangle are the market who will purchase lower price products. The top of the triangle, much smaller amount of people, are the people who will be more likely to purchase higher ticket products. So with this in mind, your authority flagship course, in terms of your packaging and your pricing and how much content in it, now you are moving from just information to what's called transformation. The level of content you put in an authority flagship course definitely needs to transform somebody's life, business, health, wealth situation in some way. By the time I have ended your authority flagship course, yes, even if it's still self-study, I still need to have got a measured difference in some way, in some place, in some part of my life or my existence by the end of your course. This is the level of content, right? We're moving from just information now into transformation, okay? We are changing something measurably about someone's money, behavior, attitudes, feelings, thoughts, strategy, outputs, outcomes in some way related to your field. So with the fact that we've now moved to transformation level of content inside your authority flagship course, of course, the price now goes up because the outcomes that people are getting are considerably more and immeasurable. So in terms of the market right now, this isn't what I'm saying you should price your course at in terms of your authority flagship course, but just in terms of what's converting the most in the market, just to give you a very rough benchmark, is authority flagship courses that are self-study, so you're not involved in this process physically, ranging anything from $79, and I'm talking in US dollars, by the way, because it's a global market you're in now, to anything up to about $3,000. So these self-study online courses that create transformation really can vary very greatly depending on your expertise, what results you're getting people, and how much those areas of transformation are transforming for them. Now, I'm not saying that your course price has to fit within that bracket. That's just the rough industry benchmark that converts the most at the moment. Keep that in mind, but you definitely want people walking away from that authority flagship with a level of content that has got them the results that you've promised, that has changed them in some capacity. Now, I will be in a minute telling you where to find this content. So at the moment, I'm answering this question simply based on the different types of courses. I am next going to tell you where to find exactly what content to put in this course. Okay, so stay with me if you want some tips here, and I will share my screen too. So the next type of course, we've gone from a free thing to a mini course to an authority flagship self-study course. The next type of course that will determine what kind of content, how much content, and how you're pricing it will be your coaching program. If you want to do a coaching program, this is going to be slightly higher priced again, because this is the point at which you as the expert comes into the process, right? This is where you, the people, want that person to ask questions to. They want you to engage with them, interact with them, contextualize the answers that they are asking based on their unique situations. So you're still going to be basically covering all of the same content as your self-study authority flagship course. Right? The content is the same. The difference is with the coaching program that you are now personally involved. And how involved you get at this coaching program stage is totally down to you and your preferences of how much you want to be involved with the coaching program that you're on. So this is where you might, for instance, add in, I'm going to give you some random examples. I'm not saying this is what you should do, random examples and ideas only. You may, for instance, have a weekly group coaching call where that group of students come in and they get to ask you any questions about whatever your topic is about and whatever it is that they're working on through your course. It may be that you do one-on-ones. It may be as part of that coaching program that you sit down and get something done for them. Let me give you a real life example here of how I do this, just to see if it might give you some ideas of how you can work your coaching programs. So for example, I have a completely self-study course called How to Create Profitable Online Courses. It takes you through everything for creating an online course. I then have my coaching program version of that, which is called Concept to Course. And this is where over a period of 30 days, I personally get involved in the process. So there is still a bunch of self-study training that the students can watch at any time that suits them. So this is a really clever way for you to be able to pre-record that content, enable people to consume it in their own time. But you then come in once a week and do a live teaching that backs up and adds to and complements the pre-recorded teaching. So I use my live calls to cover all of the core things that people need to know from that module, that week's module, but also to add in any of the current industry changes that are happening. Because no matter what industry you're in, there's going to be something new happening all the time. There might be some kind of update, some new information, some new trending stuff that's going on that everyone's talking about that affects your industry or your topic in some way. By having that live element in there, you get to complement the pre-recorded, evergreen, never-changing content with the most up-to-date, most recent, most current trending stuff that's going on, right? Getting a bit warm in here. So that could be one way of you creating a coaching program version. Now, with my coaching program, what you can do with yours is you can also create a number of tiers or packages inside that coaching program. So you might have, your bronze, silver, gold packages inside that coaching program so that you can attract the lower priced version of the market, the mid-priced version of the market, and the higher ticket version of the market. As an example with mine, I have one version of my Concept to Course program, which is the lower priced version, where they only get access to that content for a year and they only get 2 rounds of Concept to Course. I mean, it's still an absolute bargain. When I say only, I mean, it's still absolutely amazing, right? The other version is, what's called a plus package, and it has a done for you component in it. So could you have like a gold or platinum version where the people who pay that higher price for that higher version get something even more dramatically transformed in their life for them? So for instance, in my plus package for Concept to Course, we set up everyone's tech for them. They get on a one-on-one call with me. I go through their course outline with them, make sure their course outline is as good as it can be for their particular market and it's the right product for their particular business. They also have all of their online school totally set up for them, all of their course automations set up for them, their course landing page set up for them, all the checkouts and payment integrations, all completely done for them. So what would your version of that be in your coaching program? Is there something you could do for them? If you're a fitness coach, for instance, could you get on a one-on-one call with me, come up with a unique, fitness plan for me, a unique nutrition plan that's just for me? What could you do for or with me that would give me an extra layer of transformation that the people in the lower package perhaps didn't have the access to in their version of their package? You can be super creative with this, and this is what really takes an online course into a coaching program and differentiates the two. It's having you involved in the process. So of course, the depth of content that you put in that is going to be significantly more, because you're going to not only have people transformed by the end of a coaching program, ideally, again, they have measurable results to show for it. As an example, the result promised from my course is if you follow all of the training, you will have a course at the end. Right? So that's the promise I have in mind. What is the outcome promise, the one big promise that you could have in yours? What would I walk away with? What thing would be finished? What outcome would I have from the end of your course? That's really important. And that's all the content you include and all the activities that you put in there are going to be what then determines the content that's going in, what outcome that you've promised. So the next type of program, and this is a really big answer to this question, I know, is called a membership. A membership is when you're charging a monthly fee for people to access whatever's in the program. And this kind of model is fantastic when you have a topic that perhaps takes longer for people to implement. and do. Something that requires long-term work in order for that change and transformation to truly take place in somebody's life. So a membership is really cool, again, because of the level of creativity that you can include in it. If you want to have an idea of how I've done mine, I've got my Edupreneur Academy. And in my Edupreneur Academy, basically, I have created I'm going to put the link below, sarahcorner.com/academy. You see that rolling along the screen at the bottom. For instance, in mine, I've got a number of pre-recorded trainings in there that I add to all the time. So since my academy's been running over 8 years now, there's now over 100 courses, self-study on demand in my academy. So the second somebody joins, for just $79, they get over $20,000 worth of training courses immediately, straight in there. So already it's a no-brainer for people to come and join that membership. On top of all that on-demand pre-recorded training that they can search for and do at any time, we have monthly group challenges. We have twice monthly live trainings and live calls on different topics that relate to being an entrepreneur and a course creator. So you can see here how you can be really clever. Maybe you do mindset type training and you send out a monthly meditation as part of your membership. Maybe like me, you drop a group challenge once a month. Maybe you have a live Q&A with you once a month, and that's it. If it's cheaper for me to come and have that Q&A with you once a month by joining your membership than by paying a one-on-one call, it's a no-brainer for me to join your membership. It's you I want to ask questions to, right? You are enough to be the product. You are the product, right? So you can charge people a monthly fee to simply have that live Q&A call with you monthly as part of your membership. So you can go and check mine out if you want to get some ideas and have a look at what I've done with mine. And that's going to really help you decide, what kind of content do I want to put in my course based on what kind of course and what kind of transformation and what kind of support I want to give to my students. So with that in mind, with this question here, that now hopefully gives you this baseline of now you know what kinds of courses you can create. Which one is going to be your hero product? Which one really attracts you? For some of you, it might be the idea of a coaching program where you get to have that intimacy and relationship with your students. Some of you might be like, oh, hell no, Sarah. Like the whole reason I want to go online is to get away from one-on-ones and from people. And I just want to do self-study content so that I don't have to be involved in the process, so I can create a passive business. All right, this is really personal choice. You can choose to have all of those different types of courses in your business model. You could choose to have one or two of them or just one of those. This comes down to how do you want to live? What do you want to have in your business? And for me, I have gone on to create all of those different versions, and you can do all of those different versions in one topic. So whenever you're an expert in, you might have your free stuff in that topic. You're going to have your short mini courses in that topic. You're going to have your authority flagship in that topic. You might have your coaching program in that topic, your membership in that topic, and then from there, even retreats and boot camps in that topic. Each of those have a different level of depth of content in the course, and they have a different level of transformation and outcome from that particular type of product. But by building your business model and your customer journey in that way, you not only have maximized how many sections of the market that you can impact, and how many lives that you can impact, and how many different creative ways that you can serve your industry, you are also maximizing the income opportunity from those different delivery methods as well. So I hope that gives you some food for thought about, first of all, what depths of content, what kind of content. Now, I'm going to now answer this question to the next level. What is the actual content you now include? Now you know what kind of depths and what kind of durations we're talking about here. Where and how do you know what stuff, what teaching you're actually going to include? Now, the lucky thing about you being here right now in this time of our lives, is that tech has made this so much easier for you than it was for course creators like me who started 15 years ago, who had to do this the hard way. Now you guys have tools like answerthepublic.com. Answerthepublic.com is a tool that's free that allows you to type in your topic, and it will literally tell you what questions people are typing into Google right now. It's insane. In fact, let me just go and show you, shall we? Let's go do that this very, very second. I'm going to press present, and I'm going to show you really quickly how to do this, because a lot of people don't realize just how simple this can actually be. Let's share my entire screen. Let's share here. Ta-da. Okay, we're going to go over to answerthepublic.com. Answerthepublic.com. Now, by the way, you only get 3 free searches on this a day, so use them wisely. Let's pretend I've got a candle in front of me today. Let's pretend I am teaching a course on candle making, right? So I'm going to go into here, type in my topic, candle making or make candles. Choose your location. I like to choose the US purely because I'm going to get more search results. The more results we get, obviously, the more content we have to work with. Press search. Is it going to let me do this today? Yes, it will. While that's loading. What this is doing right now is it's now curated all of the questions that people have asked in the last 24 to 48 hours on Google in this topic. So you can see here, it's asking things like, how to make a candle, how is candle wax made, how to use a candle heater, can candle wax kill a cat, can it burn you, what candle wax is best, what candle wax is non-toxic, what candle wax is the safest, how can I make candles at home, how can I make the candle wicks, right, blah, 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 blah. Here's all these questions that people are genuinely asking at this very, very moment. As a course creator, the only thing you have to do to sell a course is answer people's questions. Now, of course, caveat, you also have to do marketing. Courses don't sell themselves. But I mean, in terms of creating an amazing course that people will love, your job is to answer their questions. And all you need to do to find out what questions they are currently asking right now to determine whether or not you have a course that A, has market demand, and B, is going to answer every question they have, is to use a tool like Answer the Public. Now, there are lots of other tools that I use and teach in Concept to Course as to where you can find all of the other questions that people are asking. But what you're going to do now is you're going to go back to your model and go, okay, if I'm creating a short mini course, right, if that's the type of course you've chosen to go for, the number of questions you ask, i.e. the content you're going to include in that, is going to be much smaller compared to if you're going and creating a coaching program, which might answer 50 of those questions, right? Your short mini course might take one of those questions only, and you might deliver a 1-hour workshop or a 90-minute workshop answering just one of those questions. As an example, I teach course creation. I do a whole 1-hour workshop on just how to create the outline, just how to create the outline. Right, that's one course. I also have a whole coaching program where that's just module 1, right? And there's all this other content in there as to how to film it, how to edit it, how to do the tech, how to do the marketing. Okay, so your content is now defined not just by what type of program you're creating, but then by what the market are actually asking right now. And all you're going to do is choose the volume of answers that you're going to curate based on the size or depth or type of program that you have chosen. And there is a very long answer to what is a very, very big question in this course creation space. So if you've got any more questions, please keep asking them in the comments. All of your comments are coming up in my thread right now, and I'm going to keep going through some of the other questions that have come up in here. So we've got a few friends on here. Hello. Melinda says, I'm a goat. Yes, I love it. The first time I got called this, I was like, that's the weirdest thing I've ever been called. And then I realized that goat means the greatest of all time. Thank you. I feel like I need to wear some kind of Superman cape. I really like it. Can you do, okay, Diamond has asked, I'll just put the question up on the screen. Diamond has asked, can you do podcasting on Techmatics? Yes, you can, but there's 2 ways to answer this question. It depends on what kind of podcasting you are choosing to do. Now, if you are creating a podcast, by the way, an amazing way of reaching more people and getting into another audience. Remember, people like to learn and consume information in different ways. Some people like video. Some people like the interactivity of a live call. Some people want to read. Some people want to listen while they're walking the dog or cleaning the house. If you are creating content, whether it's your marketing, whether it's your paid resources, in those different mediums of delivery, visual, reading, interactivity, engagement, listening, podcast, audio, you are going to maximize the reach that you have, the followers that you get, the people that discover you, and of course, by default then, the amount of money that you make. So having a podcast is a really, really sweet way for you to find more people and get in front of a different kind of audience, because people who are listening to podcasts a lot might not necessarily be scrolling Facebook and seeing your social media posts, right? So why not be there? Now, with podcasts, there are two different ways to distribute your content and get it in front of people. Now, if you want to have your podcast content automatically distributed to iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, all those different distribution channels, you are going to need an exclusive specialized podcast distribution platform. Now, I use one called podcast.co, and basically it's really simple. When you upload your podcast episode to that platform, it auto distributes your podcast episode to the Google Play, to the iTunes, to the Spotifys, to the Podbeans for you. Ding. However, other people are using audio and podcasts in different ways. Some of them want it to be gated or kept for their memberships or their members only. Some of them want that content to be kept behind an email wall, even if it's free. Other people just want to distribute it in as many ways as they possibly can. So on Techmatics, we have an audio embed feature inside the blogging area. So you can essentially turn your blog into a podcast, and we have a number of members already doing that. So when you log into your Techmatics account, you simply go into sites and blogging, click on the blog, and you will see along the top where you can embed videos and embed images. You can also embed audio files, which will show that little audio wave feature, like a radio bar, that people can listen to your podcast on. So yes, you absolutely can podcast and share audio content from your Techmatics accounts. And of course, that's all in your branding, your domains, and no one would ever know that you're using Techmatics. Thank you for that question, Diamond. So Belinda says, let me just answer this question that's come up. I've released a coming soon page for my new course. The course is unpublished. How far in advance of my launch should I delete the coming soon and publish my course? Now, this is depends on whether you are going to be completely pre-recording and pre-creating your course up front, and then doing a big launch and letting people then go in and have access to everything from the day they start, or if you're doing like a pre-sale and doing what's called a live launch. So let me explain the difference between pre-creating a course and live launching a course. Live launching a course is when you are delivering it as it happens. So for example, years and years ago, when I first started Concept to Course, it was the first time I delivered it in an online coaching format. I delivered it in online self-study for years. I delivered it in boot camps and in-person retreats for years, but I'd never done an online coaching style. And so to test out this new method, instead of pre-recording all of the content up front, I decided to deliver the first round of it live. So everyone came in and all of the training was delivered via live calls or me answering all of the questions in live streams inside the community that came to the course. And this was really, really cool because everyone loved the level of intimacy that came from that delivery style. Everyone got really personalized and contextualized answers to their situation. And I answered every single question that came up. Now, by the way, I've still continued doing that for the rest of time. That's absolutely the level of intimacy all of my Concept to Course people still get to this day. But on that first round, people were really surprised just at how live and in the moment it was. So if you have got like a pre-sale registration format, and this is a really good method to be using for any kind of course, it doesn't matter what you're creating. Even for this live stream today, I put up a pre-notification, right? Having a landing page that simply says, this course is coming soon. Here's the title. Here's what you're going to learn from it. If you are interested in being notified when this course goes live, click here. And you just have a little form, and inside Techmatics, you can create as many landing pages as you want for those coming soons. You can also create as many forms as you want for people to enter their name and email address. This will collect for you a database of people who are going to be interested in that course. Boom, you say it's going to start, I don't know, next week, for instance. You've chosen a date that this particular program is going to start. that's when you start live teaching the content, and you can live teach it inside your Techmatics account, or you can live teach it inside a Facebook group. We have communities inside Techmatics as well, so you can do it live in your communities. You can do it live on Zoom and just upload the recordings into your Techmatics courses area. How you obviously, which one of those methods you choose is totally flexible, but live launching like that is a perfectly valid strategy and an amazing delivery model for any kind of coaching program particularly. So that's one thing that you can do there, Diamond. And basically, obviously the access will be open from day one. So for instance, even in my pre-sale courses that I do, I just simply have the first lesson that says, this is when the course will start, or like dates and times, or what to expect from this course. And inside that first lesson is where I will explain, hello, and thank you for joining this course. Just to let you know, the training will start on this particular date. It's going to be, either Zoom, it's going to be recorded. All your recordings are going to show up in this area, so that when people join straight away, they know exactly what to expect and exactly how it's going to be delivered. So this is less of a question about what's right or wrong, and more about, as long as you have clearly informed your students of how it's going to be delivered and what to expect, then you are doing it right. People just need to know what they've got, how they're going to get it, when they're going to get it, and where to look for that response and that answer. So if it's a pre-recorded version and you totally pre-recorded this content, you get to choose if you want to give people access from the second they sign up, or if you want to drip release that content. So I personally, because of my learning style, I personally like to have access to everything the second I sign up to something. This is actually a learning processing style, an information processing style. One type of information processing style is what's called an analytical learner. The other is a global learner. Now, a global learner, people like me, just love to dive in, binge watch stuff. They could pick up a book here and just flick to chapter 10 straight away and start reading it from chapter 10, read that one chapter and be like, cool, that's all I wanted to know, I'm done. Like, global learners are like, just let me at it. And they get really frustrated if their learning is compartmentalized and controlled. Analytical learners, on the other hand, they pick up a book and they would literally start at module 1 and then go to module 2, and they wouldn't move to module 3 until they've done module 1 and 2, right? And they like everything in order. And those kinds of people like drip released content because they like everything to be in order. However, right, analytical learners won't get annoyed if they can access everything from the beginning. Whereas global learners absolutely will get annoyed if they can't access everything from the beginning. So I personally have chosen to always make my courses completely available from day one in its entirety, so that the global learners are happy, right? The analytical learners will go through in their own sweet time. So I hope that gives you some ideas. Absolutely always have a coming soon page and allow people to start signing up at least their interest as early as possible. If you guys need help with that, come and ask my team at Techmatics. We can do that for you as part of having a Techmatics account. And certainly once you've got your course area set up, make sure that first lesson simply explains how their content's coming. Is it going to be live? Is it going to be somewhere where the recordings are going to be loaded as they go? Or are you going to open up all of the content on a certain day? As long as they know, Belinda, you are absolutely sweet on there. All right, what other questions have we got here? I hope that helps. Let me just go back to any more questions. What have we got here? The Indian freelancer, hello, my friend. Good to see you here from Udemy. So I'm just going to mention Udemy because I have had a couple of questions about whether we should use Udemy as course creators. Tan here is asking, can we use Medium? So thanks for your questions, Tan. It's lovely to see you here. Let's talk about Udemy first of all, guys. Now, I've talked to you about different types of courses. Let's talk about different kinds of platforms. And in fact, I think I had somebody else ask a question about platforms. Here we go. It was actually a lady called Robin. So I'm going to address Tan and Robin's questions here side by side. Robin's question came in by email. Now, Different types of platforms. Let's talk about them. Before you start thinking about a particular individual organization that you might go with, for instance, like Techmatics, first of all, I want you guys to understand that there are 4 major different types of platforms that you can actually create, host, sell, and market your courses from. And it's really important to know what they are because they have very different kinds of pros and cons about them. Now, the first platform is one that Tan just mentioned, which is called Udemy. And this type of platform is called a marketplace. Udemy is just one kind of course marketplace. Think of them quite literally like the supermarket of online courses, right? They're like an Amazon for online courses. Basically, these platforms are not owned and controlled by you. You can't put your own branding on them. You can't run them under your own domains. You don't get your students' email addresses. You don't get to communicate and promote to your students as you would. You don't get to choose particularly what price your course sells for. You can choose a range, but in most cases with platforms like Udemy and marketplaces, the marketplace determines what your course is sold for, whether your course is discounted, how much commission you get, and some of your courses you may only get a few dollars from the sale of your courses, and you don't even get the email addresses of your people on these marketplaces. Why? Because they're not your customers, they're the marketplace's customers. Think of a supermarket, right? If you sold bread, the people walking through Coles or Walmart are not your customers. They're not the customers of the bread company. They're the customers of the supermarket, right? However, do you still use this platform, yes or no? Why would you use a marketplace if they have all these restrictions and all of these negative cons? Well, because of exposure. Udemy has over 40 million students. 40 million students on Udemy. Why would you not want access to that? So what I recommend is when you're using a platform like a marketplace like Udemy is you have to use these strategically. Different types of platforms require different kinds of marketing strategies. So on platforms like Udemy, marketplaces, put your cheaper courses, put the ones that you're more seeing as the opportunity to demonstrate your skills and help people, right? And you don't mind only getting a few dollars for them. I see it as marketing that pays me, right? You could pay for Facebook ads, or you could put courses on Udemy that you get paid for people to come and watch. So what you can do with Udemy, although you can't sort of really promote yourself or direct them out of the platform, in Udemy, you are allowed an instructor profile that can link to your website and to your social media channels. Now, if you're delivering great content, people are going to come and follow you. You are allowed to say, you know, go check out my profile if you want to connect with me, right? You are allowed to say that. And people will come from that platform and follow you on your other platforms if what you're delivering is fantastic. So stick your cheaper, lower price products on platforms like Udemy. I think I've got something like 60,000 students on Udemy. And I don't promote it. I don't do anything with it. I literally just popped courses up there. 60,000 people have found me through that platform. I mean, that is if I pay Facebook ads for those, I mean, at the moment, I think Facebook ads are somewhere at like the $5 a click mark, right? Can you imagine how much that would have cost me in advertising? That was completely free marketing that has actually paid me as well. It's amazing. So that's one type of platform, okay, is a marketplace. Second type of platform that you can host your courses on is a learning management system, also known as an LMS in the industry. Now, you may have heard of some of these fantastic ones, Thinkific, Podia, LearnWorlds. They are all brilliant LMSs, learning management systems. They are basically a piece of software that you normally would pay a monthly fee to, and you can customize it, brand it, attach your own domain to it, upload your courses to it, create your course landing pages, and sell your courses from those platforms. They focus on just that course element, the course side of your business, right? And they're really good. They're really easy to use. They have been made to be as simple as possible for course creators. And I love them. As you guys know, I have been a partner with Thinkific, with LearnWorlds, with Podia, with those platforms for many years. I've been a verified expert with them for years. I think they're fantastic. And they fit into what's called the LMS category. Now, the limitation with LMSs, I want to say those platforms are fabulous, but the limitation of that kind of model is that you still need other softwares and other tech for your business to work. You still, when you have an LMS, you still need an email marketing system in order to compliantly and legally and effectively do email marketing campaigns and communicate with your students, progress check-ins to maintain your retention, marketing campaigns for your launches. You can't do that effectively from these LMS platforms. So you still need some kind of email marketing software. You still need some kind of proper funnel building software. You're still going to need social media scheduling, and you're still going to need sales management. You're still going to need a CRM in order to actually effectively run the whole rest of your business. So although I love LMSs and they're great for, maybe people who don't necessarily have a whole business running, they just need a little LMS function just to upload some content, they still limit all of the other tech features that you're going to need to run an effective business overall. So that's an LMS. Marketplaces and LMSs, two types of platforms. The third out of the four different types of platforms is one called a plugin, a website plugin. A website plugin is basically like an app for the back end of your website. Now, these look super attractive in the early stages for new course creators, right? Because they are super cheap. You can look at some of these course plugins are free. Some of them are only like $20 a year. So a lot of course creators come to me going, I'm going to set up this course plugin and turn my whole website into its own LMS for just $20 a year. Why would I use a platform like Techmatics that's $97 a month when I can use this $20 a year thing? Right. Here are some very big warnings about plugins that I want to give you guys. And believe me, I've been down this road myself many years ago. It was one of the worst things I ever did. It was a complete disaster. Basically with plugins, they look cheap, but there are a lot of other hidden costs when it comes to plugins. First of all, you will need to pay for an external video hosting platform because you cannot upload videos directly to your website unless you want your website speed to crash, which will reduce your Google SEO ranking, and if you want your website just to completely time out and crash altogether, which happened to me, right? You will need an external video hosting platform like Wistia or Vimeo if you're using a plugin, and those guys are really expensive on their own. You're already talking, more than $50 a month, depending on how many videos you have. The more videos you have, the higher that cost goes up monthly, and you're getting yourself already into costs that are way higher than having a full custom-built platform anyway. The other con with a plugin is that you need to be very techy because you won't have the support or the customer support and training that would come with an actual course creation platform. You are going to be required to get a developer to help you install it, maintain it, do the monthly updates, make sure those monthly updates don't crash the rest of your website, which usually happens, right? Basically, I am saying with plugins, I would stay away from them if I were you. This is based on real experience. I'm not trying to poo-poo anyone else's business here. I'm just telling you that this can be quite a challenging path to go down when, quite frankly, there are better and easier options. So the fourth type of platform to host a course, marketplaces. We have LMSs, we have plugins. The fourth one is an all-in-one platform. Now, an all-in-one platform, they are quite new. This is a very new thing. The closest one that you may have heard of that almost fits this category is Kajabi. Kajabi's been around for a while, and they've slowly been adding on extra features like emailing and landing pages and funnels. However, it's still not truly an all-in-one in terms of running your whole business. So an all-in-one platform doesn't just have the learning management system element. So we've talked about that learning management system that is so great for managing students, hosting courses and memberships, and being able to get those students in a very professional place that's branded in your branding. It's still only one part of the business. An all-in-one platform has all of that LMS, the whole thing that an LMS has, but it also has your websites, it also has your funnels, it also has lots of other stuff. And Techmatics is truly an all-in-one platform, a multi-award-winning platform that is your all-in-one CRM and marketing and course creation platform. So you can host your courses, memberships, unlimited courses and unlimited memberships. Now, unlike LMSs, which will charge you a higher fee the more courses you publish and the more students you have, in LMS platforms, your price per month will increase, not on Techmatics. right? You get to have unlimited courses, unlimited memberships, unlimited payment plans, unlimited students, and unlimited contacts. And you don't pay extra on your monthly fee for those unlimited numbers of students. Techmatics is also your website, your blog, your full customer record management system. It brings all of your social media inbox messages into the client record, as well as all of their emails, so all the comms are in one place. It's your it's your blogging platform. It's your social media scheduler, does all of your social media posting. It does all of your sales pipelines, sales management, email marketing, SMS marketing, email automations, project management, did I say that already? And so much more. This basically will allow you to completely get rid of all other tech that you have and have it all in one place. Yes, for as little as $97 a month. And so this is where you no longer have lots of different tools all tied together in a tangle, and you can literally run everything all in that one streamlined place. It makes everything so much easier for you. Now, those of you, we've got loads of people saying, we love Techmatics, it's the best. Thank you. I'm so glad you love it. For those of you who are joining Concept to Course next month, we do actually have a setup package where if you join Concept to Course on the Plus plan, we set up your whole entire tech system for you. Your whole tech business is set up. So you'll have all of your CRM set up, all of your branding, all of your custom domains, your course set up, your landing page set up, your funnel set up, your email automation set up. The whole entire thing is done for you if you're on the Plus package of Concept to Course. So do come and check that out. So there we go. In terms of platforms, there's an overview. You have those 4 different choices. So my recommendations to summarize that is certainly use marketplaces for your cheap and free courses so that you can reach new people. And I would recommend, in terms of a platform, choosing an all-in-one. And if you go out there and compare all the features and the pricing, Techmatics by far is the absolute market leader in this space. Now, of course, I am biased. I own it. However, please don't just take my word for it. Compare the features. You will see for yourself the features, the functionality that you get, the price that you get that for. Go and talk to the happy customers in our Techmatics Facebook group, see what their experiences of the platform are. And of course, we have actually won multiple awards already for the quality of that platform and our customer service, which is 24 hours a day with real humans. You can jump on a chat with real people, get on Zoom to get things sorted. You get a free 60-minute setup call, everything's set up for you. It makes life so much easier. All right, what else have we got? More questions. Keep your questions coming, guys, if you've got any questions about creating courses. So Naomi's just said, what's the #1 recommended platform for a course? Hopefully I've answered that now. Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, my friends, Techmatics is the number one course creation platform out there in terms of features, functions, customer service, and price. If I do say so myself, go have a look. You get a free trial, and you do get a free demo. If you do want to actually go in and have a little demo, go to techmatics.com, and you can get a demo before you even decide to set up a free trial as well. So I do recommend you do that. Belinda says, your course is pre-recorded and you're going to have a free preview. Absolutely fantastic. Yes. So if you do have a little sort of first lesson in your course, if you're doing a pre-launch and you're doing a pre-registration, you might like to just have the first lesson ready inside the course so that people have something to go and look at and get excited about even before the main program commences. Okay, what else? We got another question from Belinda. Loving all your questions coming through. You have got, if your course is Evergreen, Self-Paced, brilliant, and it's all coming over to Techmatics. Love that. So yeah, I just see that you're more making a comment than a question here. So just to reiterate here, guys, all the different types of courses I've talked about, free lead magnets, funnels, upsells, your mini courses, your coaching programs, your memberships, your services, you can all run from Techmatics. That's all doable on that platform at an unlimited scale. And if you have different kind of businesses or different categories or areas of specialization, you can also connect multiple domains to your one Techmatics account. So for instance, if you've got a candle making business or candle making training, and you've got I don't know, another training on leadership, you might have two different domains that kind of promote those two different categories, and they can all connect to one Techmatics account, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for all of the Techmatics love. Thank you to Leanne, who's saying she loves Techmatics. Diamond loves Techmatics. We've got other people popping that up as well. Right, what other questions do we have? Please keep your questions coming in. Troy said, can I create my course as I go? So brilliant. I've just answered this question already. So yes, Troy, absolutely you can. Some people have topics that they teach that it's impossible to entirely pre-film because they change so much. Right? I'm in the world of tech. I can relate to this massively every time I create a new training on how to do a piece of technology. We upgrade something, we add a new feature, we change the dashboard, right? This isn't just Techmatics, this is any tech at all that we're covering. So perhaps you have some kind of topic, perhaps you teach social media, right? Anyone who's teaching or working with social media will know every week it changes. There's a button in a different place. There's a new button that does something different. So with these kinds of courses, guys, I would recommend more of a live coaching model. I would pick that particular type of course as your delivery format because it allows you to be live and directly and immediately responsive to industry changes. So for that kind of course, if you're teaching something where it's always updating, I would pick a coaching model. For your delivery, I would only run it twice a year, 3 times a year at max, because you will burn out if you do put a lot of yourself into these programs. And you can pre-record some of the core content. So there's always going to be some core content that you're teaching, no matter how much your industry changes, that's always going to kind of be similar. Even if it's just preparing your students, right? Getting them prepared to do whatever it is that they're going to do in your coaching program. Pre-record as much as you can, and then use live training to then deliver whatever the actual delivery of the training is that's always changing. And I would recommend you do that on something like Zoom so that you can record it and upload the recording, because you will have people internationally. There's no perfect time for a live call. So you're going to be wanting to record those so that people can come back and watch the recording afterwards, because it's likely that training will stay relevant and up to date for at least a few months. Okay, so you're going to want people to be able to come back in and get access to those recordings. What else do we have? How do I keep, okay, so this is another one that came through by email. Linda's asked, how do I keep students active and engaged in my course? I'm worried that people will buy it and not do anything. This is a real concern. How many other people are worried about this? I don't know about you guys, but I certainly bought online courses with every intention of getting stuck into it, and either forgot that I purchased it, or just, it just passed my brain, right? There's other stuff going on that took more precedence. So the number one way to do this, and I've had a lot of students come to me saying, no one's finishing my course, Sarah, what can I do? I've had people come to me with 1 to 2% completion rates of their courses, which is pretty terrifying, and then leave with having over 70% completion rates after working with me. The simplest thing you can do here is make sure, please, that you have some kind of email automation in place. And in fact, I'm going to go as far as sharing this with you right now, because if you don't have this set up for your courses, your completion rates are going to be in your courses, okay? And we don't want that. We want people completing your courses, because if they complete your course, they get the transformation that was promised. If they get the transformation that was promised, it then obviously are going to love whatever it is that you have created and go and tell people to come and join it. So this is what the back end of Techmatics looks like, but this process I'm about to show you is exactly the same regardless of whether you're using, for instance, an active campaign or something like that. So inside Techmatics, you have something called automated workflows. And I don't know if I have a student check-in sequence in this particular account here. I don't. But let me just really quickly show you an example of what an automated workflow would look like. And this must be related to every product that you have, whether it's your free thing, whether it's your cheap mini course, whether it's a workshop, a webinar, whether it's a full study online course, whether it's a coaching program. You need to have, and I'm going to make it bigger for you, you need to have a trigger that fires off the workflow. And this, for instance, might be that somebody's signed up to your particular course. I'm just going to add one here. What course was it that they joined? Let's pretend it was the ABC course. I'm going to just pick a pretend one. This is a course called the ABC course. Save trigger. So now if somebody joins the ABC course, then what happens? Well, then we're going to press the add button. And once they join the course, then we are going to, there's lots of things we could do, send them emails, make them an affiliate, add tasks or notes, add them to Facebook custom audiences, give them access to a course or a product. We can just simply send them an email. And in here, we're going to send them an email. It's going to be from you, from your email address, sarah@sarahcoordinate.com. Oops, I've got my keyboard's gone backwards for some reason. What's the subject? Welcome to the ABC course over here. And then, of course, you have your message. So you're going to say something like, hi, custom value, contact, first name. Hi, contact, first name. And that will pre-fill with their first name. And it's going to be welcome to the ABC course. Great to have you here. Obviously, put in whatever message you want. Love from me. Okay, save action. Now we have an email. And then we can, for instance, go let's wait for 1 day. Okay, wait for 1 day. Click save. Okay, so now they wait for 1 day, and then guess what? Let's send them another email. And that email might say something like, hi, contact, first name, which will pre-fill. Hi, contact, first name. Yesterday you joined the course. How are you getting on? Do you like it? Would you like to book a one-on-one call with me? Blah, blah, blah. Now, the other cool thing we can do in here is we can also scroll down to our courses and memberships area. And we could say something like, if they have completed a course, if they have completed a lesson, if they've started a module, then do X, Y, and Z. All right. So there's lots of different things we can do here to create an automation. If you've got, for instance, a 4-week coaching program, a 30-day coaching program, then you might want to send them an email every couple of days, send them an email with the links to your Zoom call that you're doing, your live Q&A. And this is one of the perfect ways to keep somebody active and engaged and taking your program. 99.9% of the time when you've got low completion rates and low retention rates, it's simply because people keep forgetting that they've purchased it. Right? It just passes their mind in the array of stuff that's flying at them constantly. All you need to be doing is reminding them that they've purchased this course and reminding them that you really want to help them succeed. And setting up this email automation can change your completion rates. And I literally see, I do it all the time for my customers, from 2% to over 70% by simply having this check-in, by simply reminding people to be there. And the coolest thing about automations like this, guys, is you create it once, and you've just seen how easy that was for me to do. You create it once, and it's literally done forever. Now, every single person who buys that ABC course is going to get this sequence of emails. It's called an automated email sequence. This is an absolute game changer. And this is, guys, how you start creating a really smart student experience for your learners. Checking in, a great customer experience. Of course, you can even add in their automated review requests at the end as well. So that is one way that you can keep your students engaged and active using automated tech. Now, a couple of other things that you can do, guys, and from a curriculum design and educational experience perspective, I want you to forget what you learned in school. Please forget what you learned in school. Most of us creating courses have an experience of education that, quite frankly, is now outdated, quite archaic, and even draconian. And the experience that was designed for us in education is not what we should be designing today. So in the old way of creating courses and educating our audiences, what we used to do is we used to create and deliver a load of information. Like the module would be like information. And then at the end of the module, there'd be a task, an exercise, or an assessment, right? First of all, nobody joins a course because they're excited about an assessment or a test. So please don't do them unless it's necessary, unless you're doing like actual certified training that's required to collect evidence of knowledge for a certification, right? What we want to do instead of going learning, then implementation, by which point you've lost people, you want to keep your students active and engaged by giving them constant wins. Lots and lots of early, frequent wins. So I would recommend that, yes, you might have one intro video. Here's how it's going to work. Here's me. Here's how your program is going to go. Let's get started. Straight away, get them doing something, implementing something. Remember when I talked earlier in the session about your course needs to promise an outcome. It needs to say, this is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to feel. This is the result that you're going to have. Get them working on that immediately. As an example, in my YouTube challenge, literally the first lesson is let's set up your channel. From within 10 minutes of starting the course, they are creating their channel, they've got their banner up, they've linked their links, they've got their right default upload settings in place. They walk away from the first lesson going, oh my gosh, I've got something from this course already. I've already done something from this course straight away in lesson 1. Right? So if you want your course to be absolutely binged and totally binge-worthy by your students, get people doing stuff and winning and getting this sense of achievement. This has a physiological, biological, and chemical reaction in your students that creates more motivation to learn. So don't go learning, then let's do something. Learn a little bit, do something. Learn a little bit, do something more. Learn a little bit, do something more. The technical term for this is scaffolding in the education world, right? Where we keep adding to the tower to the point at which people didn't even realize. By the time they look back, they're like, whoa, look how far we've come. We've built this whole castle on the way, rather than like learning. Now let's build a castle from scratch at the end. They're building the castle brick by brick, lesson by lesson. So they are seeing that progress happen in real time. Now, there are lots of other ways to keep your students engaged. I'd recommend adding in some kind of community element as well. Inside Techmatics, you can create unlimited communities. They basically work like Facebook groups, and you can create an individual one per course, per cohort for each course. Or you can have like one big one that's for all your students, for everything. You get to create unlimited amounts of communities, and you decide how you run them. And unlike Facebook groups, you can even create categories inside your communities as well to separate out all of your learning content and conversation and chat threads as well. If you've got any more questions, please drop them through. It looks like that is all of the questions that I have had come in. How do we move? Okay, here's a big one. Marketing. Whoa, marketing. Let's end today's session on marketing. This is going to be a fairly big answer. Get your pens ready. So this is where the real work begins, my friends. Once you've created this amazing course, and of course, you've probably come onto Techmatics and learned how to create courses, or you've come onto Concept to Course and you've created this amazing course. Now, it ain't going to sell itself. I'm afraid to say creating it is one step. No course will sell itself. And a lot of people don't like talking about money, right? And people will say, how much can I earn from my course? How much money can I make? And when somebody like me comes along and says, you can make as much money as you want, then straight away they start going, oh, this is misleading. You're one of those goo-poos that's promising money, right? First of all, you have to make money in your business. You have to be money orientated, and thinking and focusing about money and making money does not make you in any way shallow, misleading, a bad person, right? It's a business. I guarantee you right now, there is not one person out there on planet Earth that would happily go to work for free. Right? They go to work to earn money because the bills don't pay themselves. Your business is exactly the same. You must be financially focused. So please get over any money blocks that you have. I can't charge for this. It's not fair for me to charge for this. You're an expert. It's a product. You're a service. You're a business. This is your product. You are the product. Your knowledge, your information is the product. You can't walk into Kohl's or any other shop and say, I'd like this for free, please. Okay, this is how business works. How much money can you make from online courses is completely and directly proportionate to how much marketing you put in. It is the simplest formula in the world. You put in marketing, you get out sales. The more marketing you put in, the more sales you get out. And in fact, yesterday I put up a video saying, here are 3 ways that you could make 50 grand a month. And I shared 3 ways. One of them is online courses. One of them is memberships. One of them is services, right? You can, of course, make $50,000 a month from that if you're marketing. You can make way more than that if you're marketing. And I actually had someone come to me and say, you're misleading people. You know, it makes me so angry. I created a course and this is wrong. What you're saying is wrong. And she actually said, I've followed you and I've watched your videos and I've done what you said and I'm not making 50 grand a month, so you're misleading. And I looked at her profile and she hasn't got a link to her courses on her social media bios. She hasn't been posting daily, regularly at all. In fact, I scrolled all the way through her feeds and there was nothing about any of her courses. There was nothing to tell me what course she had created, what course I could buy from her, what services I could buy from her. And so this is where we really need to start understanding in our minds. If we want to sell anything, and this is not just related to courses or coaching or services, it's related to anything in the world, we must put in the level of marketing to match the output that we want to have. So let me give you a couple of tips of some things you could do right now. If any of you have got a lead magnet right now, or you've got a course right now, or you've got like a booking link, or I can book a one-on-one call with you. Like if you're using Techmatics, go and create a calendar appointment, because Techmatics is also your calendar booking system where people can pay to book a call with you. Go and talk to one of our tech experts on the chat and they will set it up for you, right? If you have anything you can sell right now, this is what I want you to do. Go to your Facebook profile and I want you to put the link to that thing in your bio. So on your personal profile and your business page, you can put a link to your thing on your profile. In fact, I'm just going to go and open up Facebook in the corner right now while I'm just talking you through this. So you want to have as many links as possible to your thing. People are not going to go actively looking for your product. You have to put it in front of them. And if you're not, they simply won't know it's there. They simply will not be able to buy it. It's as simple as that, guys, okay? So for instance, let's just pull this down here now. This is my personal profile. And I don't know how well you can see this because it's a bit small. Let me zoom in. On your bios, on your profiles, you can create an intro. And you'll see here, I've got my free thing. This is my lead magnet. Come and get my free course creation resources right here. Boom. Now people can find my stuff straight away. On your bio, you can have all these links. Here's my link to my link tree. Techmatics has a link tree that you can use to put all of the links to your products and services. Here's the link to my free stuff. Here's the link to my academy. Here's the link to my services. They're all here. I make it easy for people to find me. What's the first thing on the top of my profile? Oh, look, it's a pinned post. It's a pinned post. Look at this. You can pin posts on your personal profiles. So when someone comes to my profile, not only can they see all of the things they can buy from me straight away, oh, look, also cover photo that says, here's what I do. When you click on it, it also has, oh, it doesn't have a clickable link in there. This is really, really clear. And guess what? It's got a call to action. It's the first thing people see when they come to my profile. Here's what I do. Here's what it does. Here's the link for you to do it. So many people are like, Sarah, my courses aren't selling. You're telling me I can make money from these courses, but I am not selling anything. Are you telling anyone about it? If I go to your profile right now, can I even see what you sell? And can I buy it? Is it right in my face? Now, the other thing is you need to be doing marketing constantly. Now, inside, for instance, Techmatics, you have, let me just go into a, let me just confirm that this is dead. You have, inside your marketing section, you have a social media scheduler. And this social media scheduler connects to all of your social media channels. It connects to your Facebook pages. It connects to your Facebook groups. We haven't got anything in this particular account here, but you can simply go in, create a new post. You choose which of your social media accounts you want to send it to, all of them. It connects to TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. And basically here you can go in, create your content, upload your videos, upload your photos. You can even pre-schedule the follow-up content, and you can then choose what date do you want that post to go out, what time do you want it to go out, and boom, this will post across all of your social media channels for you all of the time so that you don't have to. So it's going to save you thousands of hours, not to mention do your marketing for you. And so what I get people to do when I teach them the marketing training for their courses inside my Concept to Course program, is we talk about all of the different ways that you can automate this exposure, this omnipresence, this being in front of people as much as possible by using those tools again, like Answer the Public, like asking the audience, to gather questions that your audience are asking, and you simply be there and answer them as much as is physically possible. As an example, I sent out an email last week to my audience simply saying, hey, what is your biggest question about creating a course right now? In my Facebook group, I say, hey, what's your biggest question about creating a course right now? I go to Answer the Public and I look at what questions people are asking about creating courses. What do? I get on my phone, I film 3-minute answers to every single one of them. I upload them to my social media scheduler, and those responses distribute across all of my channels, making me searchable everywhere, all of the time. Because what we want to also remember when it comes to marketing, guys, is it's not just what we're doing today. What we're doing today is creating a historical footprint on the web. When people go to the search bar in each of the social media channels and type in a question or a keyword, you want your videos to come up. And it may be that you posted that video 2 years ago, but because the exact question matches the exact search criteria on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, your video is coming up and matching it. And if you have done that video where you've answered that question and you've got a call to action to come and buy your course, guess what? That video is going to keep selling for you for the rest of time. And this is where we come back to numbers. The more questions you've answered, the more videos and tips that you've put out there for free as marketing, the more customers you get today and next year and the year after, because the more videos you create, the more chances you come up in Google search results, the more this organic marketing process is going to work for you. I still have customers coming in and buying my courses today from videos and blog posts that I posted 7+ years ago, because this stuff becomes vintage, guys. It becomes search engine optimized content that when people, the new people that haven't even started thinking about your topic yet today, when those new people next year start looking into your topic, there's all this stuff that you've created. Now, I don't know about you, but when you're picking a provider for something and you were trying to choose between 3 people and 2 of them have nothing on their social media channels, there's nothing on their YouTube, there's no content out there from them or by them, and then the other guy next to them has got years and years and hundreds of video tips about their topic. Well, which one are you going to pick? You suddenly have this instant sense of credibility. This person knows what they're talking about. It's like the deli counter where you get to taste the cheese in the supermarket. I've got to taste it. This is the same. Marketing's the same. Marketing is like the little piece of cheese that people get to taste. They get to experience you. They get to see how you answer, how you work, whether you are who you say you are. It sells it for you. You don't have to convince people to buy. They watch you do your thing. And that is convincing enough for them to decide whether or not you're the right person for them. It sells for you. It finds people for you for the rest of the time. If you really want to be a true overnight success, hate that word, you have to start today and see that marketing is a long-term accumulation of never-ending marketing topics. And if you're on my list, my email list, I sent out an email yesterday about this book I've been reading that sums this up now. Lovely. It's a book by Robert Greene called Mastery. And it basically sums up how basically anyone, even somebody who is completely talentless, can become a sought after, highly wealthy master in their field, quite simply by repeated practice and never stopping doing the same thing over and over again for a long period of time. And this is what the marketing thing is. People look at me today and they're like, oh, you're so successful. You've got all these course creators. You're an overnight success. It's all right for you to make a video saying, how to make 50 to 100 grand a month. And I'm like, yes, but I didn't just wake up today with everything that I have, with the knowledge that I have, with the experience that I have, with the turnover that I have. This is the accumulation of 15 years of marketing. So if you start today, next year, you're going to be a whole year ahead. You start today, please do it. This book basically says, and a lot of the books on mastery and learning a skill and becoming an expert, becoming a leading authority in your field, constantly refer to this magic number of practice, of implementation, of learning and doing, which is 10,000. All of these different researchers and pieces of information state that if you do something for 10,000 hours, which roughly works out about 5 to 7 years, depending on how many hours you're doing a day, you cannot fail to get results. You cannot fail because you're doing it. If you're learning it and implementing it and putting those seeds in the ground, over that period of time, you cannot fail but have mastered that topic, have learned that thing, have gained so much experience, to have failed a million times, to have tripped over and learned how not to do it, to have found winning strategies, to have been around long enough to now be known for that topic, to have created enough historical footprints and spider's webs on the back end of the internet for all of these roads to keep leading back to you through keywords, through content, through word of mouth, through being present, through having omnipresence, through being around all of the time. You cannot fail but to have got results if you stick to something and keep doing it all of the time for a long time. So many people come to me and say, I want the instant success. I want that today or tomorrow. I cannot promise you that. And anyone who's telling you can get that is a massive, big fat liar. And I would run away from them very, very quickly. You need to create your product. Start marketing before your product is even created. Start sharing your knowledge you have right now. You already have knowledge that other people don't have. Right? You're not going out to teach a PhD to academics in your field. Your goal with your course, with your coaching, with your services, with your products, with your consulting is to help people that don't know your topic yet. So you already know 100% more than all of the people that don't know your topic yet. They are the people you're going to help. Okay, so you can start now. Go to Answer the Public, find those questions, start answering those questions. And if you'd rather go to the dentist than film a video, at least start answering them in text form. Start learning your voice. Start using your voice and your way of explaining your topic so that you find your natural style. You'll start to attract a certain kind of person based on the way that you speak, the way that you present, the way that you explain. This is how your following, your tribe starts to form. Right? You can't sit back and wait until you have an audience and then go and launch a course. You would literally never launch a course. You have to have stuff for people to be attracted to in the first place. So start sharing your knowledge now. Start answering questions, start giving tips. And yes, I'm telling you from my own experience and the experience of thousands of my students, for the first 12 to 18 months, you are going to feel like you're talking to an empty room. I'm 15 years in, and sometimes I still feel like I'm talking to an empty room, right? Sometimes people don't sit there and like and love, heart, and comment and share on everything they watch. Do you? Do you like, love, heart, comment, and share every single piece of content you see, every post, every video? Of course you don't, right? We're not here to get validation. We're here to demonstrate our knowledge, demonstrate our expertise, create this huge vault of historic content that will be found by people who are specifically searching for that content now and forever in the future. Please get your head into that mindset as you start this process. So if I can't find your links on your social media bios, and I'm talking Facebook bio, Twitter bio, LinkedIn bio, Instagram bio, I can't buy from you. If I'm not going to your social media channels and seeing you post content on your topic with a call to action to either book a call from you, follow you, buy your course, sign up for your pre-registration, sign up to your email newsletter, I can't engage with you, and I'm not going to. You're not going to get me as a customer unless you have that there. The other things you want to start doing right now is to start building out opportunities for you to get exposure to the type of people you want to be in front of. And I see a lot of controversy around the topic of doing stuff for free, right? I hear a lot of people like, don't ever do anything for free. You're going to attract freebie seekers and freeloaders, right? I have been banging on for 15 years about the power of being the most generous person in your field. The most generous, kindest, and helpfulest person in the industry always wins the business. always wins the business, right? Because if you're out there answering people's questions, if you're out there serving your field, when those people who are looking for that service are ready to buy, they're gonna go for the one who's helping, serving, being there, answered their questions over the one who isn't. So I recommend that the more you give away for free, the more rich you become. It sounds completely ironic, but speaking from my own experience and from that of others, the more you give away, the richer you become. Crazy, but it's true. So I recommend that if you're just starting out, you want to start getting in front of as many people as you possibly can. And I recommend that the easiest way to do that at scale is to serve for free. As an example, when I moved from the UK to Australia over 12 years ago, I rocked up with nothing, a suitcase, an empty suitcase full of, well, it wasn't empty, it was full of bikinis in winter, which was terribly cold. And I was extremely disappointed by the Australian tourism promotions. They convinced me it was going to be hot. Anyway, I had nothing. I had no customers. I had no business. I had no social media profile. I had no Facebook page, I had no website, I had no mobile phone, I didn't even have a freaking laptop, right? I had nothing. And what did I do? Within 18 months of rocking up in this completely alien country, I had turned over my first $1 million. I did that by serving my industry. So for instance, I typed into Google conferences in my city, and I went to those conferences and I said, hey, I'm an expert in the following topic. I know that professional speakers charge a lot of money, but I would love to come and present at your conference completely free of charge. People said yes. Loads of people said no. Loads of people ignored me, but people said yes. Some said yes. Now I'm telling you now, when you rock up on stage, as much as you're probably pooping your pants and you're absolutely terrified, right? The point is you have a captured audience of at least a few hundred people, in some cases a lot more, who are sat there, and you have 100% of their attention. And on top of that, you look like the instant authority in your field because you're stood on the freaking stage. You will have a queue of people come to you afterwards and want to speak to you and ask questions. When those people came to speak to me afterwards, I said, hey, I will come to your business and I will train your staff for free for 1 hour. And if you like me from there and you want to continue with my training services, let me write you a proposal. Guess what? I wowed them for an hour and I won 6-figure contracts like that. Because they'd met someone, they'd gone through the rigmarole of testing and trialing them at no risk to them. When I stuck that proposal in front of them, there was no other admin to do but for me to get set up as a supplier on their system. Boom. What else can you do now? You guys have something that I didn't have when I started, which is the access to these communities on the internet. No matter what industry you are in, there are Facebook groups full of your target audience. There are other business owners who have huge email lists that are full of your target audience, and you can begin to create collaborations where you can go and serve those communities. So as an example, going on and presenting on people's podcasts, they are always looking for speakers. Go and reach out to podcasts and say, hey, I'm an expert in, I would like to come and help you with the following topic and speak about X, Y, and Z on your podcast. And boom, you will have yourself a bunch of new listeners that you are exposed to. A podcast is going to stay up forever. It's another piece of content that people can find you through. Make sure you've got a call to action at the end for people to come and get your free thing or join your course or join your newsletter or book a call with you or whatever it might be. You can also offer to do summits and presentations to communities and groups within your sector as well. So for instance, I work with the entrepreneur space, so I want to get in front of entrepreneurs. So I reach out to other business networking groups and say, hey, I usually charge a lot of money for my training, but I'd love to come along and deliver a 1-hour workshop to your community free of charge. What happens? Some people follow me, some people buy from me, but I've built another sort of link into my target audience. So guys, you really want to be, when it comes to marketing, thinking about, okay, yep, you've got your products to create, but your marketing is what actually makes you the money, right? So you want to be spending a good 70% of your time that you choose to work on your marketing activities, asking yourself, how many people do I need to get in front of if I want to make X many dollars worth of sales? If you want to get 10 clients and you've got a conversion rate of 1%, right, you're going to need to get in front of 100 people in order to get those 10 clients. See how the math works? It's basic math, guys. What you put in, what you get out, on your conversion rate. So that is just a little kind of bunch of tips to throw out there initially. There are, of course, lots of other methods to launching your course and doing your marketing, all of which I cover in module 4 of my Concept to Course program. I'm not seeing any other questions come up on the live right now. So if you do have questions and you're watching the replay, do drop them in and I'll come back and answer those for you afterwards. Otherwise, if you are ready to start creating these courses, to start creating this membership of yours, there is no time like now. You really do have a door of opportunity open to lead in your field. I know it feels like there's a lot of competition, but half the world doesn't have the internet yet. And out of all the people with social media accounts, only 1% of them are actually creators at the moment. Now, of course, that's going to start growing. Now is your opportunity to be at the forefront of this learning revolution before the rest of the world gets on board and before the rest of the world gets access to the internet. If you don't take this opportunity right now, the future you is going to be real mad at you because you really do have the door wide open right now. If you want to get this done right now, come and join my Concept to Course program. In Concept to Course, you do get access actually for a year. It's a 30-day intense period where I'm working with you guys daily to help you get your courses created, but you do actually have a whole year of access to that content, and you do get to join 2 entire rounds of Concept to Course. So a lot of people come in, create their smaller course in the first round, then come back on the second round to create their membership or their bigger program. And you have access to the community that whole time as well. So Concept to Course is basically 30 days, 4 weeks, 4 modules. In module 1, we cover your business model, planning out your course packages and pricing, what kind of courses you're going to have in your business, how much you're going to sell them for, and what that customer journey looks like for you in your business. In module 2, we do creating the actual content, what content is in demand for your particular course, and how are you going to deliver that. Module 3, we cover all of the tech, get your online school set up, get all of your email automations in place, and then in module 4, we cover marketing and launching courses. So as somebody who has helped well over 280,000 students in my courses, millions of dollars made, a qualified educator and teacher trainer with years worth of experience in the education business sector, you can absolutely depend on me to help you get through creating your courses, your coaching programs, and your memberships. Is it going to be easy? Hell no. Is it going to be fun? Hell yes. Is it going to be an intense wild ride? Will you cry? Probably. Will I be there to hug you? Absolutely. It is an absolute journey. It is a real genuine experience that you'll be going through. And the result at the end is your very own product that you can go on and sell for the rest of your life. So this is an absolutely monumental opportunity. I only run this program twice a year. This is the last one of 2023. So come and join me on Concept to Course, and I will help you get that course out of your head, out into the world, and a possible income opportunity for you for the rest of time, provided that you follow the steps and then do the marketing. So if you've got any more questions, do drop them in the comments. Thank you guys very, very much for being here today. Let me just remove that. I don't know how to remove that comment from here. Really appreciate you being here. Do keep asking your questions. I know for some of you, this isn't the right time for all of you to start creating your product right now, but certainly do come and follow me. If you're not ready to jump into Concept to Course, I do have a bunch of free training that you guys can access. This is one place that you can get it, sarahcorden.com/starter kit. I have a bunch of training on creating your courses that's completely free of charge. If you just want to start the process of wrapping your head around it right now and you're not quite ready to jump all in and get it done. Thank you all very much, and I will be back to answer any more questions that pop up in the chat soon. Love you all. Happy teching, happy creating. Go and change lives. There are people out there that need you right now today. Don't hold back in helping those people, because you can. You've got all the resources. You've got this, and you've got me to help guide you. Time is now. I can't wait to see your product live. Bye. See ya.